Is the Bible real, or is it just an ancient religious book built on faith alone? That question matters more than ever, because if the Bible is merely symbolic, its claims carry personal meaning, but if it's grounded in real history, real evidence, and real events, then it demands something far more serious from us. What's unique about the Bible is this: it doesn't ask for blind belief. It invites investigation. Tonight, we're not asking, does the Bible feel true? Most ancient religious texts begin with mystical language or private revelation. The Bible does something radically different. Luke opens his gospel like a formal historical investigation, naming eyewitnesses, sources, and a method of careful verification. This is how historians wrote, not myth makers. Paul goes even further. In one of the earliest Christian writings, he states that over 500 people witnessed the resurrected Jesus, most of whom were still alive. That's an open invitation to verify or falsify the claim. And the Bible consistently ties its story to real places, rulers, dates, wars, and political events. You can test it. Key point: the Bible is the only major ancient religious text that openly challenges readers to examine its claims against history. Ancient texts usually survive in fragments copied centuries later. The Bible is different. We possess over 5,800 Greek New Testament manuscripts, allowing scholars to cross-check accuracy at a level unmatched by any ancient work. One fragment of John's Gospel dates to around AD 125, within one generation of the original writing. And the Dead Sea Scrolls, discovered in the 20th century, revealed something remarkable. The book of Isaiah had been copied with near-perfect accuracy over 1,000 years. Key point: what we read today is extraordinarily close to what was originally written, far closer than any comparable ancient document. For centuries, critics dismissed many biblical figures as legend. Then archaeology spoke. A stone inscription confirmed the existence of King David, once called mythical. Another artifact verified the Roman governor who sentenced Jesus. An ossuary bearing the name of the high priest mentioned in the Gospels was uncovered. Entire civilizations, once thought fictional, were unearthed exactly where Scripture placed them. Again and again, when evidence is found, it aligns with the biblical record, not against it. Key point: the problem hasn't been that archaeology contradicts the Bible, it's that archaeology often confirms it later. For decades, Darwinian evolution was treated as a complete explanation for life's origins. That confidence is fading. Scientists increasingly acknowledge that natural processes struggle to explain. The origin of biological information in DNA, complex cellular systems that require all parts to function at once, the extreme fine-tuning required for life, and the sudden appearance of complex life forms in the fossil record. DNA functions like a digitally encoded language, complete with information, structure, and order. No unguided process has ever been observed creating that kind of information. Complex systems like molecular machines only work if everything is present simultaneously. Partial systems don't function. Why this matters: if the universe reflects intelligence, order, and purpose, that aligns with the Bible's opening claim: in the beginning, God created. Some of today's most respected scientists openly argue that intelligence is the best explanation for life's complexity. They don't reject science. They follow the evidence where it leads. These researchers challenge the limits of Darwinian explanations and argue that design is not religious bias, but a rational conclusion based on data. Their position is simple: when information, order, and purpose are present, intelligence is the best explanation. That conclusion doesn't weaken faith, it strengthens it. The Bible isn't one book. It's a library written by over 40 authors across 1,500 years on multiple continents. Yet it tells one unified story: the creation, fall, redemption, restoration. Ancient prophecies written centuries before Jesus describe his birthplace, death, betrayal, and mission with striking precision. This level of coherence across time is not normal. It suggests guidance beyond human planning. The Gospels include details that make no sense if they were invented. The heroes fail. Leaders deny knowing Jesus. Women, whose testimony held little legal weight in the ancient world, are recorded as the first witnesses of the resurrection. These are not the marks of legend. They're the marks of honest testimony. Early Christian creeds date to just a few years after the crucifixion, far too early for myth to develop. The disciples went from hiding in fear to publicly proclaiming the resurrection under threat of death. They gained no wealth, no power, no safety. Yet none recanted. Movements based on lies collapse under pressure. This one exploded exploded across an empire. The Bible didn't just influence belief, it shaped the world. Hospitals, universities, human rights, charity systems, modern science itself. Many of history's greatest scientific minds viewed their work as uncovering the order of a rational creator. The Bible stands as a historically grounded, archaeologically supported, scientifically resonant, and internally coherent revelation. As modern science increasingly recognizes the limits of purely material explanations, the biblical vision of a purposeful creator becomes more compelling, not less. This isn't blind faith, it's faith informed by evidence. And the real question isn't whether the Bible can withstand scrutiny, it's whether we're willing to follow the evidence wherever it leads.